this gentleman literally took me under his wing and taught me. I thought I was never going to learn anything more about convention centers. This guy taught me a lot. And what he taught me about was creating the experience from the moment you walk into a facility and all the way through it. It's hospitality, it's food design, it's comfortable lounge areas. He was creating something that I was dreaming about that I did not think had ever been done before. And here he had done it here in Long Beach. When you walk around this convention center, and after you finish this meeting, you'll walk through and you'll want to talk with the people that you're surrounded with. And you want areas to communicate and say, here's what we learned, here's what we understood, and this is how we can operate to be a better system out there. These environments are all over this convention center. It's very unique, and the scenario we have here allows for a full experience that no one else really has out there. As I talked earlier about the gray box dropping in the middle of the world, and everybody else creates the experience, not here. Steve Goodling is someone from the industry that moves mountains. And I am so glad to call him friend. When I see his phone come up, he calls me a lot. When I see his name come up, I'm like, I'm on it, because I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna do some business, and we're gonna move things forward. So I want to invite to the stage Steve Goodling, my friend, CEO, president of Meet Long Beach. Thanks for coming, man. Right out.
Actually, Dan has a great sense of humor, and so I call him just to laugh. First of all, welcome to Long Beach. All of you are in a profession that I love, and so having you here, I know you love hospitality as much as I do. Otherwise, why would we put up with it, right? So over this period, I enjoyed the talk from the general manager of Stockton. Where is that person? Could you stand? I want to tell you, oh, there you are. Stand up, stand up. Let's give this guy a round of applause. Anybody who thinks about bringing the Lantern Festival to Stockton, you're phenomenal. I mean, that's what all of this is about. We look at opportunities within our venues. We look at opportunities that can basically create additional revenue, but also enhance the cities that we work and live within. There was a comment made earlier today by the general manager from Hawaii, and she said, it's all about bringing our communities into our facilities. I can't tell you how often over the years I've had people say to me, I've never been inside the convention center until we activated this space and we started to do receptions and fundraisers, community fundraisers. And they got to come in and enjoy a facility that if they rented these globes, which would be $120,000, trussing, rigging, lighting, and they rented everything else, they'd make no money. But instead, as community members and nonprofits, they get to come into this facility, and ASM Global has always, and SMG prior to that, extended a hand of fellowship and cooperation and community partnership to help them succeed. Now, all of a sudden, as your GM from Hawaii said, now there's this sense of community. They now love when we bring conventions in because they know what our conventioneers and our visitors are experiencing. There was also some other comment this morning which I thought was really critical, and that was we couldn't do it without our city partnerships. And that is so true, and that's true here. And everything that you're seeing, which has transpired in the last 10 years, would have never happened without our city partnerships. They believed in the vision, they believed in where we were going, and they wanted to get there. As the mayor said, for the last 8 years, the readers of Successful Meetings and Meetings Convention have voted this convention center the best convention center in the West Coast. And I know that Los Angeles is here, and I know that others who are not ASM portfolio are here, but we have stiff competition. And so I'm thrilled that we continue to receive the recognition. And why do we receive it? Because it's a different, unique environment. And if it wasn't for our city partnerships, we wouldn't be there. So I'd like one person, Johnny, could you stand up? Johnny is the deputy manager over at Economic Development. And Bo, could you stand up? They took the time to come over here today to actually see what you guys are learning and doing. And Johnny's been on this ride with us for 15 years, and Bo just came in from Denver a year ago, and he's been leading the posse for us. Could we give them a round of applause on behalf of all of us? At a reception, I actually heard Johnny dissect our event and tell his wife why we were doing what we were doing. And I'm like, Johnny's understood our recipe, our formula. So a couple weeks ago, I was reading a story and the headline caught my attention. And Eris, if you could throw that headline up there. Well, that's Snoop Dogg. Okay. Rex already made it very clear. You're in Long Beach, not Venice. We know that, right? Okay. And by the way, Snoop is from Long Beach. I think we'll hear a lot more about that as we move forward. But anyway, the Wall Street Journal ran a really great story. And in it, it said, the big banks deserted Wall Street. Then the cool kids moved in. A great headline, pulls you in, and I'm like, okay, what did the cool kids do? I love to learn what other people do with assets. Several years ago, when I met Ron Benson for the first time, he said to me, Steve, I tell people, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is ubiquitous. It's just space. People move in, people move out, at least in most convention centers. In the past, that's how it was. But it's how you activate the space, what you're feeling today. When's the last time you've been in a general session room like this? Or throughout the facility? We wanted to create experiences. And so I started to read this article. And these three young individuals bought this former bank building in Manhattan down in Wall Street. And it's 35 stories tall. And they also own a hotel. They took hotel concepts and incorporated it into their office space. And now their office space is 100% sold out. In a market, and we all know what office space is doing, it's floundering. So they took office space, they activated it, and then they added experiences. In the morning, they have a matcha cart that goes through with some other beverages, kind of like a hotel concept. Then in the evening, they have a cocktail cart that goes through with other amenities. And they're actually going back to the office 5 days a week because they want to interact with those people renting office space. They feel there's a collaboration there. The facilities that we run are collaboration halls. If we don't give people the chance to basically sit down, connect, talk, not stand, but actually do like you do in a living room, then we're missing the reason we're in business, because we're not fulfilling one of their primary needs. So with that, this is what our promenade used to look like. Next picture, that's what it looks like. See the difference in the way it's activated? I can tell you, the first time we put in furniture along the side, I was so excited to go to the second floor to look down to actually see the people using it the way we envisioned that they would use it. And they used it extensively. I was told prior that we couldn't put furniture in this space. because a couple of our shows used it to put their exhibit booths out. But it was a couple. And so years ago, we were running this building as though it was for those 3 programs, not for the full year. The full year, people were looking for places to sit. And as a CVB and as a destination sales organization, our clients have told us how much they love that they don't have to go out and rent furniture, but that the space is already prepared for them to activate. So then we took it further and we came down, and your program is pretty much between the hall and here. And you're going past Bogart's. And that picture of Bogart's was stark. There was nothing there. Charlie Byrne and I drove down and checked out an outdoor mall called Fashion Island, and we studied what they did architecturally. And what we really came back with was they have long cement walls, but they put those awnings up. Well, the awnings broke up that look, made it residential. A very cheap fix. And voila, we took it. And the same goes with the paintings in the background. Now all of a sudden, this space is activated. And might I share too, you might be going, well, what about the budgets? Restoration hardware outlet, high quality consignment shops. You can get really good furniture that will last. We still have furniture that's lasted 10 years because it was built to last. And we got it for 20, 30 cents on the dollar retail. So this is now Bogart's. And as you experienced this last night and today, it's all activated. So we did the same thing with the theaters upstairs, Beverly O'Neill. And this used to be actually one of the ugliest theaters, and you didn't feel like you went out anywhere special at night. And who wants to go out and spend your time if it doesn't feel special? Now you show up at this place, it's special. This is part of the Grand Prix track. This is downstairs, Pacific Ballroom. Again, it was nothing more than a bridge, an underbelly. Ted came in, activated the space, took the model, loved it, and now we've created the Cove. And so all these spaces that were inactive have been activated. It's created additional revenue. And so we've added whimsical things like giraffes and other things. People love the selfie moments. This past year, we started to add neon lights. And neon lights have really even further accentuated. This is an Indian wedding we hosted less than a month ago. And one of the attendees for that wedding said to me, Steve, I live on the East Coast. I wish we had something like this for our community to have weddings, because I've never seen anything like it. And their weddings are 3 days long, and that was the second night wedding. The place we're in right now was the Ice Dogs. This is the arena, and this is what it is now. You're in it. We hosted a group of artificial intelligence executives here less than 2 months ago. This was the evening when they arrived, and it was just a lot of fun. And so, and our hat bar, that's our newest thing. We have all these Long Beach hats, and people just love to promote it. So these are all the different things that we've done to take the space and activate it. I'd like to show you a culmination of this with a short 2-minute video. And I'd like to also thank the AS team here in the building, Charlie Byrne, for over 10 years, who helped, he and his team at that time, to create where we are. Robert and his team, keeping it moving forward, the food and beverage staff, but also the corporate staff who have always seen the vision of this, and also our city team. One last slide, Eris, let's go to that revenue slide. Over the last 20 years, we've gone from 12 million in bed tax to almost 40 million, 110% increase. It's the 4th largest tax revenue generator for the city of Long Beach. In addition, this ballroom that you're in, we hired an economist from Cal State Long Beach. In 10 years, that $10 million investment has created over $428 million in economic impact. If we didn't have this space, 40% of our conventions wouldn't even be able to come to Long Beach because we had already capped and maxed out our 22,000 square foot ballroom. And our impact to the local economy is over $2 billion in terms of overnight visitors. That is what a repositioning of a facility does. Not only does it bring everyone together as a community, the community's proud of their facility, they partake in their facility, but they're proud of us in bringing revenue into the city to help offset some of our city expenses. So, in summary, it's all about unique, it's all about authentic, it's all about wow. And if you don't walk into a room and those phones don't go up in the first 7 seconds, you know you've missed the wow factor. Enjoy your time in Long Beach, enjoy the video, and as the mayor said, if you want to come back for Grand Prix, just ask Robert, he'll get you all tickets. Anyway, take care, have fun.